Do you think it's possible for you to replicate this image of Brad Pitt using only a piece of paper and a pencil? I'm here to teach you how. By doing this, I'm going to equip you with the skills to becoming a world-class artist. And you know what? It's going to be very quick, 15 seconds. But first, let's start with something simple. Do you think you could recreate this image of a gray square? Of course you can, right? And here's the thing, if you can create one gray square, you can create two, you can create three, you can create 20 gray squares. The fact is, once you've mastered a single gray square, hard to argue that you couldn't replicate every single square necessary to recreate this image. And just like that, you're on your way to becoming a world-class artist. You might be thinking, this isn't what real art is about. This won't make me world-class level. Let me introduce you to Chuck Close. This man has been among the top earners in the art world for decades. And his technique is exactly what I've just shown you. The real difference between us and our loftiest goals isn't some magical skill or element. It's about our approach to problem solving and the decisions we make to overcome those challenges. This is an idea from Stephen Dunier's TED Talk that I truly believe in. And I truly believe you can become anything you want broken down into small enough steps. And a lot of people argue about this with me on the internet. I don't care. Besides, I guess, an NBA athlete or some of those really outlier things, I truly know that you can become anything. This framework is exactly what I use to become an aerospace engineer, to co-found a medical company, and to become an ultramarathon runner. But I wasn't always like this. In 2015, I decided that I was going to transfer to one of the nation's best engineering schools. There was a major problem, however. I had just failed the easiest course in the program, Introductory Physics Lab. I had a 2.93 GPA my second semester of college, and I had to get nearly straight A's to get into the mechanical engineering program. I also had to get a physics degree to get that automatic acceptance into that engineering degree. Something had to change. I needed to start building my gray squares, one dot at a time, to create my masterpiece. The first thing I did was break down what the dots were for my painting. What were the simplest things I could focus on and cut out the rest? What are the things that drive the results I wanted? This is when I found the first step in the journey, the Pareto principle. This principle states that 20% of inputs lead to 80% of the results in almost all cases. Most of our time is being wasted on things that don't drive results. You first have to identify what actions you need to focus on to get the results you want on the goal you decided on. I put a ChatGPT prompt down below to help you analyze and find these actions for more complicated items. I identified 3 items for myself: asking the professor questions, teaching others, and doing homework problems. This was the plan. Now you have to structure your life around it. First, I went to every single office hour each week. This was free tutoring from the professor, and most of the time no one showed up, so it was one-on-one guidance. I became a teaching assistant for the fundamentals of mechanical engineering under the hardest professor at that time, so I could get paid to teach while mastering the material. It was a win-win. Thirdly, I found I had to set up dedicated time for mastering the homework problems. And this leads into your most precious commodity that you actually own. This is actually your focus and not your money or what you have. Literally nothing else could be more valuable to a goal or achievement than your focus. If you struggle with focus, I suggest using a timed interval method. I left a free Notion template in the description if you want to know how to get started using the Pomodoro technique, my favorite. There is one last piece to the puzzle that most people don't understand. Consistency is not just a strategy. It's the unbeaten path to success. It stands alone, unmatched in its power to transfer dreams into reality. I had to show up every single day and do these items every single day, moving the needle closer towards my goal. You cannot lose if you consistently show up, day in and day out, and especially on the days where it feels the hardest. I took the commitment that I was going to do these tasks over and over until I achieved the output that I wanted. And this led me to getting straight A's in some of the hardest classes I'd ever taken: quantum mechanics, modern physics, thermodynamics, and getting into my dream school. By planning the actions that drive these results, structuring your life around these tasks, and committing to show up, you can achieve literally anything you want. This same framework is what I use daily to achieve my goals, to achieve the crazy dreams that I have. Now you also understand how to plan and structure your life to literally achieve anything you want.